This is it. There will never be a more perfect time than now to put everything on the line. The minute you finish watching this video until the moment you go to sleep, you will remain focused. Don't worry about tomorrow. Don't worry about how long you can keep this up. Just do it today. Use every ounce of energy within you to be the absolute best that you can be. Your screen time should be 0. Your workout should bring you to your absolute limit. And you should be doing something productive. Whether it's meditating, prayer, a walk, working on your personal venture, reading, learning a new language, studying, whatever it is. Anything but spending time mindlessly scrolling on your phone for just one day. One relentless, unapologetic, all-in day. A day where you give the universe no choice but to notice you, where your own soul looks at you in awe, stunned by the sheer force of your determination. A day so fierce that even your doubts and insecurities decide to pack their bags and take a vacation. You owe yourself that. You owe yourself one day of unshakable, uncompromising, razor-sharp focus. And no, this isn't just some feel-good pep talk where we slap on a motivational quote and call it progress. This is war. War against the version of you that's comfortable with mediocrity. War against the habits that have held you hostage for too long. War against every excuse, every maybe tomorrow, every I'm too tired, and every single whisper of surrender. Today, you become the person who doesn't negotiate with weakness, who doesn't make bargains with procrastination. Today, your comfort zone becomes enemy territory. The grind, your sanctuary, the pain, proof that you're rewriting the story. Your body might scream, your mind might rebel, but you'll push back harder. You'll take that resistance and mold it into strength because the version of you that survives today will be invincible. And here's the thing, it's not just about sheer willpower, it's about strategy. Be relentless, but be smart. You're not just throwing punches wildly, you're a calculated force of nature. Map out your day. Visualize every second. See yourself smashing through every task like it's your last chance to prove that you belong among the greats. Because you do, but you have to claim that place. No one's handing it to you. Delete those apps if you have to. Set your phone to do not disturb and let the world wait. You've spent enough time living on other people's timelines. Today is about your legacy. It's about your growth. Do you really want to be the person who looks back and remembers the hours wasted in an endless scroll? Or do you want to be the person who remembers this day as the turning point? The day you grabbed life by the throat and demanded more? And yes, it's going to hurt. It's going to feel unnatural. Like tearing yourself away from a warm bed on a freezing morning. Like walking straight into a storm when every part of you wants to run back inside. But growth never came from comfort. Success never knocked on the door of those too timid to challenge themselves. If you're reading this, you're not the type to settle. You're not the type to coast through life hoping something good happens. You're the architect, the one who bends the world to their will, who digs deep even when the motivation runs dry and finds that flicker of purpose buried under layers of self-doubt. When you look in the mirror tonight, don't see someone who played it safe. See a warrior with battle scars, bruised knuckles, and fire in their eyes. See someone who didn't just talk about change, but became it. You'll sleep better than you ever have because exhaustion from victory is 1,000 times sweeter than the restless guilt of wasted time. And tomorrow you'll do it again, not because it's easy, not because you suddenly became superhuman overnight, but because you've tasted the thrill of discipline. You've felt the power of owning your day. You've proven to yourself that one focused day is worth 1,000 half-hearted efforts. So get up, right now. Do one thing that moves you closer to your goal. Just one, and then another, and another. Don't overthink it. Just move. That's how empires are built. One intentional, relentless, unstoppable step at a time. Stop waiting for motivation to knock on your door like it's some kind of dinner guest. Motivation is unpredictable, fickle, and frankly, overrated. You don't need it. You need discipline, the kind that drags you out of bed when every fiber of your being begs for 5 more minutes. The kind that makes you push harder when your muscles scream and your mind whispers that you've done enough. Because guess what? You haven't done enough. You haven't even scratched the surface of your potential. You've got a reservoir of strength inside you, just sitting there, waiting to be unleashed. Stop rationing it out like it's something precious that might run out. Use it recklessly. Burn through it with passion and determination, because that's how you turn potential into power. You're not aiming to be average. You're not built for mediocrity. You're aiming to be the kind of person whose name gets remembered, not because you played it safe, but because you took risks that terrified you, because you stayed up late when others called it a night and woke up early when everyone else was still lost in dreams. You'll have your rest when you've earned it. You'll have your comfort when comfort no longer feels like defeat. Listen, everybody wants success, but very few are willing to bleed for it. They talk about dreams and plans, but when it's time to grind, they fold. Not you. You're different. You're the one who doesn't just talk about the life you want, you get up and make it happen. You're the kind of person who doesn't just break chains, you shatter them into dust. Stop waiting for the right mood or the right circumstances. There will never be a perfect time. There will never be a flawless plan. There will never be a day where everything aligns effortlessly. Real growth happens in chaos, in discomfort, in those brutal, unglamorous hours when you're face to face with your own weakness. That's where champions are made. Not on the podium, but in the shadows where no one is watching. Think about your goals. Visualize them so vividly that they hurt. See yourself in that position you've always wanted, living that life you keep dreaming about. Feel the pride, the sense of accomplishment, but don't just stand there staring at the vision. Go chase it like it's trying to slip through your fingers, because it will if you don't move right now. And yes, people will doubt you. They'll tell you to take it easy, to slow down, to be realistic. Forget them. Their fears are not your fears. Their limitations are not your limitations. Let them settle for less if they want. You've got mountains to move. You've got history to make. You've got a destiny to carve out of the stone-cold reality that most people accept as their fate. Every step forward is a declaration that you refuse to be ordinary. Every sacrifice is a statement that comfort will not seduce you into settling. And every single struggle is proof that you are building something monumental, brick by unforgiving brick. People will only see the monument when it's complete, but you'll know every drop of sweat that went into it. You'll know the nights you pushed through exhaustion, the mornings you ignored the ache, and the countless moments where you could have quit, but didn't. When your legs feel like lead and your mind screams for rest, remind yourself why you started. Remember that moment when you made the promise to yourself to be better, to demand more from your life. Don't break that promise. You owe it to yourself to see this through. Sometimes it's going to feel like you're moving backward. Sometimes it's going to feel like nothing is changing, despite all the effort you're pouring in. But growth isn't linear. Progress doesn't always announce itself with fanfare. Sometimes it's silent, subtle, barely noticeable until one day you look back and realize how far you've come. Keep pushing even when the results aren't obvious, because every effort compounds into greatness. You can't control the obstacles that life throws at you, but you can control how you respond to them. Face them head on, run at them with everything you've got. Use your failures as fuel. Use your setbacks as stepping stones. Adapt, adjust, but never stop moving. And don't forget to take pride in the struggle. Embrace the grind like it's the most beautiful, chaotic dance you'll ever perform. Laugh when it hurts. Smile when it's hard. Because every second you refuse to quit, you're proving to yourself that you are not just surviving, you are thriving. People will wonder how you did it. They'll think it happened overnight, like success just fell into your lap. They'll never see the dark mornings when you forced yourself out of bed, the late nights when your body ached from pushing too hard, or the mental battles where doubt tried to drag you down. Let them wonder. Let them think it was luck. You'll know the truth. You earned every single inch of progress. So when you cross that finish line, whatever that looks like for you, stand tall. Not because you finally arrived, but because you didn't quit when you were at your lowest, because you didn't fold when the weight felt unbearable. You'll stand there as a testament to resilience, to determination, to the unbreakable spirit that refused to settle for anything less than victory. Keep going, keep grinding, keep pushing past the point where most people quit. Let your story be one of tenacity and fire, a story where defeat was never an option. Build a life that forces people to believe in relentless effort. Make your name synonymous with strength. This is your time. This is your moment. So rise up and own it. Make the world see that you are not just another face in the crowd. You are the one who didn't back down. You are the one who dared to be great. And when doubt whispers in your ear, just remember this: the strongest steel is forged in the hottest fire. You are that steel. And this fire you're walking through, it's only making you stronger. Don't you dare mistake the heat for defeat. Don't you dare look at the struggle and think it's your end. It's just the beginning. This is where the real transformation happens. This is where your resolve gets stripped down to its bare bones, tested and pushed to the brink. And when it feels like you're breaking, remind yourself that you're not breaking. You're being rebuilt. Rebuilt into something unrecognizable from the person who once played it safe. Rebuilt into a force of nature that doesn't flinch in the face of adversity. You're becoming the kind of person who doesn't just endure challenges. You crush them, absorb the lessons, and use them to fuel your next move. You're a warrior, toughened by the struggle, sharpened by the grind. When the world tries to slow you down, speed up. When obstacles rise, stand taller. When people doubt you, let that doubt be the gasoline that lights your fire. Don't waste time proving them wrong. Prove yourself right. This journey isn't about showing anyone else what you're capable of. It's about proving to yourself that you can go beyond your own limits. And yes, you will get tired. You will feel like the world is conspiring against you. You will feel alone at times, as if your path is a lonely uphill battle. But remember, solitude is where legends are made. When nobody is watching, that's when the real work is done. It's in those quiet moments of pain and perseverance that your character is built. So when doubt tries to settle into your bones, laugh in its face. You didn't come this far just to let fear dictate your story. You didn't claw your way out of the trenches of self-doubt just to let a little resistance send you back to square one. No, you've planted your flag here, in the territory of relentless pursuit, and you're not moving. Imagine this. Someday, you'll look back and realize that every single time you could have quit but didn't, it added up. Every late night, every early morning, every sacrifice, it will be worth it. You'll remember the days when progress felt invisible, when the grind felt thankless, and you'll see how it all intertwined to create the success you're living. You'll laugh at the memory of almost giving up because you'll know that was the moment you became unstoppable. But right now, in this moment, it doesn't feel that way, does it? Right now, the weight on your shoulders feels unbearable. Your mind is screaming at you to just take a break, to slow down, to convince yourself that you've done enough. That's the trap. That's mediocrity trying to sink its claws into you. Don't you dare give it the satisfaction. When you feel like you're drowning in exhaustion, that's when your breakthrough is closest. Success lives right on the other side of that barrier of pain. Your future self is standing there, arms crossed, waiting for you to prove that you're worthy of the life you're chasing. You think champions quit when they're tired? No champions rest when the work is done. Your dreams are hungry, and they demand to be fed with effort, sacrifice, and unbreakable willpower. So feed them. Starve your fears and doubts until they're too weak to stand. Push yourself past the point where most people would quit, because that's where greatness begins. You want to stand out? You want to be legendary? Then do what others aren't willing to do. Everyone wants the reward, but few are willing to pay the price. They fantasize about the glory, the recognition, the applause. But when it's time to put in the work, to sweat, to suffer, to push past breaking points, they vanish. You're not them. You're not cut from that cloth. You're the one who stays when the crowd fades. You're the one who rises when others fall. And when you're standing on top of the mountain, breathless, victorious, you'll know it wasn't luck. You'll know it wasn't handed to you. You fought for it. You bled for it. You earned every single victory. The battle scars, they'll be your proudest trophies. They'll tell the story of someone who refused to settle for less. And that's why you don't stop now. Not today, not tomorrow, not ever. Because this life you're building, it's yours. It belongs to the person who wouldn't quit, who didn't settle, who didn't let the weight of doubt crush them. It belongs to you. So keep moving. When the noise gets too loud, focus on your goal. When the pain tries to paralyze you, use it as a reminder that progress never comes without struggle. Keep stacking up those small wins, one after another, because someday soon, those small victories are going to snowball into something massive. People are going to look at your success and wonder how you did it. They'll say you were lucky, or that it just happened for you. Let them. They weren't there when you clawed your way out of the depths of despair. They didn't see the countless hours you poured into your craft when nobody was cheering you on. Let them gossip while you continue to build an empire from the ground up. Your story is still being written, and every line is a testament to your strength. The pen is in your hand, and you're the one deciding whether the next chapter is triumphant or tragic. Write it with fire, with passion, with an unyielding belief that nothing will break you. When they ask you how you did it, how you managed to defy the odds and rewrite your destiny, just smile, because they'll never truly understand the pain you endured, the doubt you crushed, and the fears you faced head on. You won't need to explain yourself to anyone because the results will speak louder than words ever could. Right now, you have a choice. Let doubt take the wheel, or grip it with iron hands and steer your life exactly where you want it to go. You're not just surviving, you're thriving, evolving, becoming a version of yourself that you once thought was impossible. So go on. Be relentless, be fierce, be that unstoppable force that nobody can deny. Because one day, when you're standing on the summit of your achievements, you'll know that every grueling moment was worth it. You'll know that the fire didn't destroy you, it forged you. And when doubt dares to whisper in your ear again, you'll just smirk and say, I've been through worse, bring it on. Now go, be the legend you were born to be. The world is waiting to see what you're made of, so show them. Make your story one that echoes through time, one that people read and feel electrified by. Own every second, every challenge, every victory. You're not just fighting for success, you're fighting to become the version of yourself that's already inside, waiting to be unleashed. Because deep down, you know that greatness isn't reserved for the lucky few. It's forged by those who refuse to quit. It's crafted in the dark, in the silence where no one is watching, where doubts creep in and tempt you to take the easy way out. But that's not you. You're not built to take shortcuts. You're not wired to settle for scraps when there's a feast waiting for those who are willing to work for it. Let them laugh. Let them doubt you. Let them point fingers and say you'll never make it. Every doubter, every hater, every skeptic, they're just fuel. They're just more wood on the fire that burns within you. Let their words sting for a moment, but then smile. Smile because they don't know what's coming. They don't see the sleepless nights and the relentless grind. They don't hear the inner voice that tells you to keep going when everyone else has stopped. They'll call you obsessed. They'll say you're too intense, that you're pushing yourself too hard, but obsession is just what passion looks like to the lazy. They don't understand that the only way to achieve what you want is to throw yourself into it with reckless abandon. Let them have their opinions while you build your legacy brick by brutal brick. You're not aiming to impress anyone, you're aiming to become undeniable. You're aiming to build something so solid that no storm, no failure, no setback can tear it down. You're building yourself into a force of nature, so relentless, so committed that the universe itself has no choice but to step aside and let you through. When you're exhausted and your body feels like it's about to collapse, remember this: pain is temporary, but regret lasts forever. You can endure discomfort, you can push through fatigue, but can you live with the knowledge that you gave up when victory was just beyond the next push? Can you handle the weight of knowing you were one effort away from greatness but chose comfort instead? No, you can't. That's why you keep moving. That's why you wipe the sweat from your face, square your shoulders, and dig deeper. Because one day, the struggle will be a distant memory, but the triumph will be yours forever. Think about the future you, the one who already made it, the one who conquered every obstacle, who proved every doubter wrong. That version of you exists, waiting on the other side of persistence. They're watching you right now, rooting for you to make the choices that will lead to your transformation. Don't let that future version of yourself down. You have the power to decide right now whether you're going to be the hero of your story or just another cautionary tale of wasted potential. You're not just writing a story, you're carving it into stone. You're etching it into the fabric of reality, making sure that the world knows you existed and that you didn't just settle for a mediocre life. Stop fearing failure. Stop giving power to the fear of falling short. Failure is not the end, it's a stepping stone. It's a lesson wrapped in hardship, waiting to be unwrapped by those who have the courage to keep pushing forward. Failure is not your enemy. Complacency is. Giving up is. Choosing safety over risk is. And here's the truth. The road ahead is going to be brutal. You're going to face challenges that make you question why you even started. There will be days when you feel like every effort is pointless, like progress is a myth and success is a fairy tale. But those are the moments that separate the ordinary from the extraordinary. Those are the moments that determine whether you're serious about your dreams or just infatuated with the idea of them. So go ahead, embrace the pain, welcome the challenge, make the discomfort your best friend. Because while everyone else is shrinking away from hardship, you're charging straight into it. You're confronting your fears with a defiant grin because you know that nothing worth having comes without a fight. Think of all the legends, the icons, the pioneers, the ones whose names will never be forgotten. Do you think they didn't suffer? Do you think they didn't feel like giving up 1,000 times? They pushed through when everyone else stopped. They didn't let fatigue, doubt, or the opinions of small minds derail their mission. They embraced the grind and owned their struggle. And that's what you're doing right now. You're becoming the kind of person who doesn't back down when life gets hard. You're building an iron mindset, an unbreakable spirit. You're doing it not just to prove others wrong, but to prove yourself right. To show yourself that you're capable of more than you ever thought possible. When the results finally come, and they will come, you'll stand there, breathless and proud, knowing that every sacrifice was worth it. You'll look at the journey behind you and realize that you didn't just achieve your goals, you became someone different in the process. Stronger, wiser, fearless, and that's the real victory. Not just the trophies or the accolades, but the transformation of your soul. The moment when you look at yourself in the mirror and see not just a dreamer, but a doer, a fighter, a relentless force that didn't just survive but thrived. The clock is ticking. The world isn't going to slow down for you to catch up. Opportunities are slipping through your fingers while you hesitate. So make the decision now. Make the commitment to yourself that no matter how hard it gets, no matter how dark the path becomes, you will not break, you will not bow, you will not let this life slip through your grasp without giving it everything you have. You've got one shot at this, one life. Don't waste it living in fear or playing small. Don't waste it letting other people's doubts shape your choices. This is your story. Make it a masterpiece. Make it the kind of story that people read and can't help but feel inspired to go after their own dreams. So when the final chapter is written and your name is etched into the story of greatness, people will know one thing for sure. You didn't just live. You conquered. You didn't just survive, you thrived. You didn't just exist, you dominated. Now go, turn the page and write the next chapter with ferocity and purpose. Be unstoppable, be unforgettable, be legendary. This is your time. Make them remember. Make yourself proud. You've got this. Keep pushing, keep grinding, and never ever let doubt win. Because you are a force to be reckoned with. You are the storm. You are the fire. You are the legend in the making. Own it.